Welcome back, everybody, to Brown Bag Bets, powered by BetSports. We are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christensen, and joining me, as always, Mr. Andy Molitor. How are we doing today, Andy? Did you get to watch any of that basketball last night? It was the Mavs and Suns game was interesting for a little while, and then not so much.
Yeah, the Suns decided that, and I wanted your opinion on this. A little busy last night. I didn't get into the chats a lot. That's my favorite part about having a really good NBA chat, and I really do think ours is quite a few smart minds in there, and you and I, but and HJ, Jesus, that guy. But we're making faces. Poor guy's probably watching. But it's nice to go check in there. Yeah, man. We go check and see what people are saying. And I didn't get a lot of chances. I was busy with some family stuff. But was it just the case of like, is Luca just not in good shape? Like, does he not have cardio? When they decided like, hey, guess what? He's the defender we're going to drive at for like 30 straight possessions. He looked kind of gassed for we're 80, 90 games deep almost here now. Like, I think I'd try to be in better shape in the postseason. Was that the case, or is he just a shit defender? Is it column A, column B?
I think there's definitely some questions about his fitness. As someone that watched Joel Embiid get just torn apart for 2 to 3 years for not being in great fitness, I've always wondered why Luca hasn't gotten a little more crap for it. He generally comes into the season a little overweight and plays himself into shape, as opposed to just being in tip-top
Same.
fitness. And it's never held him back a lot. I think this is one of the first times a team has really systematically gone after him and attacked him like that. But at the end of the day, whether it's Luka or the rest of the Mavericks, the Suns shot 64, almost 65% from the field. They were 13 for 25 with three, and it didn't, and almost won the possession battle. Like, they're just going to win that game time in and time out. But yeah,
Sure.
I think this is a good moment for Luka Doncic to sort of take a look at what it requires to win postseason basketball. To look across the court at a guy like Chris Paul, who is basically the last guy from his draft class by some level, going out and putting up 20 and 10 every night, looking like he's fresh and moving around. So maybe it's a little bit of a come to Jesus moment, if you will, for Mr. Doncic, and we'll see him in better shape next year.
Yeah, like getting fat every off season and then working your way out of it, that can be like long term. That seems like it's probably bad for things like your knees, which are super important in basketball. So I don't know. Patrick says try eating healthy Slovenian food. Doesn't exist. Take your word for it. Can't name a Slovenian dish. I don't know any Baltic food. Is it close to Greek? I would have some. I would have some wrapped. What do they call it? Wrapped grapes. That doesn't sound right.
Dolmatis.
Yeah, dolmades. Dolmades sound. I might get Greek. I forgot breakfast and I had leftover spaghetti in the fridge. I've literally already eaten spaghetti today. It's like 10:30 here. I had
I have
spaghetti before
breakfast
the show
spaghetti.
starts.
Breakfast spaghetti is a nice way to start the day.
Yeah, just like cold spaghetti was not a
Couple
bad deal.
meatballs.
So interesting though, and yeah, I guess if I went back and looked at the actual box score, the Suns were just very good. Like you said, sometimes a team plays a game and nobody's beating them. The Heat, I mean, let's not dwell on that one too much. If you don't have Embiid and you have a coach of that caliber, you're not going to beat a team like the Heat very often. I don't even know if a gentleman's sweep is in the cards. It might just come down to four games of Miami, and then we go on a coach hunt.
I certainly hope so. Again, if I said it once, I'll say it a bunch of times. Please don't let Joel Embiid play with the chance of having a serious eye injury if somebody hits him in the face. For the love of God, let's not do that, because it's kind of a tough series. And the Sixers played hard last night. There were a couple guys
Yeah.
who had nice games, but they're just outmanned and just don't quite have the firepower. So I think you're right. It'll be a pretty quick series. I doubt we'll play another game in Miami.
Of course, Dan is looking up Slovenian food right now, sending it to the Slack. I'll check that out. Maybe I don't think there's a Slovenian place in town, but there is Greek, and
That
that's
would be
probably what's
pretty niche
happening.
for especially your town.
This is almost a nice little segue because I said I will probably have some Greek, and the first series price we're going to look at is Bucks Celtics. They have a Greek player, a couple of them. 1-1 after both teams just kind of had their way in one game. I don't know which one seems more sustainable. Bucks are still a very good team. I don't know. Like, perception changes so hard on one game. Like, oh no, like, are the Celtics actually not good? And then game two, like, okay, are like the Bucks, were they lucky? It's funny how like maybe not paying attention to Twitter sometimes would be helpful with these. I have no idea what to do with that, but boy, if you like the Celtics at the price you got pre-series, you'd love them at minus 134 in a 5-game series. So they still have home court, and right? Yeah,
No, so
Boston.
that's why I'm a little confused that the
Yeah,
prices
it's
actually moved
Milwaukee. Yeah.
towards
Holy shit.
Boston because Milwaukee has home court, and the longer the series goes, the more likely Middleton is to play. And we
Hmm.
just saw Marcus Smart go out. So before the series started, I believe the Celtics closed in the range of right about this price, I think. But they've lost home court. We know Marcus Smart is out for a couple games. And the longer we play, we know Middleton's in here. So I think there might be just a touch of value on the Bucks, but instead of playing them here, I'm just going to keep playing them game to game.
Yeah.
I think that we're going to see them at a nice price. They'll be short favorites at home in the next game. I believe they already are short favorites. I don't have the prices up in front of me, but that'll be probably a nice spot for them as they come home. And that second game, really, Milwaukee it was a tough game for them, and it's hard to figure out if they just kind of packed it in knowing that they've gotten the game after things got out of hand a little bit early. But it's just going to be a close series, and I think it's going to end up going a little bit longer than we thought. Again, coming in with no Middleton, we thought the Celtics could get things done, but
Yeah.
they lose Smart in the first game, only shoot 33%. It's really tough. I mean, we'll see. It's a fun series, maybe a little value in the Bucks, but like I said, I'll bet them game to game. The Heat are only minus 1,000. That feels like it should be minus 10,000.
Yeah. I don't know how they could possibly lose 4 out of the final, you know, you'd have to lose 4 out of 5 games to the Sixers without Embiid. That doesn't seem like something that should be of a probability higher than what you're getting in that. That's good. Parlay that with whatever horse you like in the Derby. Get in a couple extra cents.
That's I'm wondering, like, if anybody has like a big chunk of cash lying around, wander down to the casino, and it's a nice little T-bond for a couple of weeks. It's man,
Yeah,
I think you're
play
right.
the bond markets in the NBA.
I think I'll definitely use them as a team in our man team horse parlays tomorrow, which I've already got a couple set up. I'm very excited for that.
I know.
I
I've
love this
been
show
looking.
yesterday. Mike is the best. Um, Warriors, Grizzlies. Warriors are solid favorites here again. They've stolen home court advantage,
Yep.
and things are looking good. This number makes sense to me. I mentioned that I took the Warriors minus 1.5 games before the season, and actually before the series. Sorry, and that'd be amazing if I took a minus 1.5 of the Grizzlies preseason. But
Yeah.
Grizzlies minus Warriors minus 1.5 games, and took the Grizzlies plus 2.5 games. So I've got a nice little middle here, Andy, where I'm hoping for Warriors in 6, and it seems like it's setting up that way. But we'll see. The Grizzlies played much better in the second game. If they continue to improve, maybe they just have a little too much talent. But Warriors at home, I think it'll be a solid night for Steph and those guys. So it makes sense to me.
Yeah, and again, it's another one where I forgot that the Warriors aren't the team that had home court to start with. The Grizzlies just don't seem like a 2 seed to me. Maybe it's because they lost to the Timberwolves a couple times. Like,
It
embarrassing.
was, it was a late switch. Golden State was a 2 seed for most of the season. Then you look at the Suns price, and honestly, it makes the Heat price look even better. I don't know why the Suns Maverick series is a bigger difference than the Heat Sixers series. That is a little
Yeah,
confusing
like the
to me,
Mavericks
but
are actually live to win a game or two. Whereas
that's
I'm just not so sure the 76ers, like their ceiling feels like one win in this series.
if Embiid suddenly does play and
That's
somehow makes
true.
it through, they could win 2 games. But yeah, I don't see them
Yeah,
actually
you'd
being
need
able to
him
close
back
out
to
the
do anything
series.
like that.
Yeah, they have to
And
win 4 of the next 5 games.
yeah. And speaking back to the Mavericks and Luca, Dan's article, 9 of the tastiest traditional Slovenian foods. Number 8 is simply says trout. Just says trout. Apparently they have a lot of
I
rivers
dig it. I
there.
like a trout.
Alpine, I like some trout.
I was looking through.
Um,
It does have like a Mediterranean feel, but like with a little bit of a
yeah,
European twist. Like there's some kielbasa in there. A lot of words I can't pronounce. It's fun.
it's like part Greek, part Polish. Like it's kind of
Mm,
the perfect mix between them. But
Grolish.
trout, I like trout. All right, golf is going. And we did the series prices. If anyone hasn't looked yet, there's no NBA games tonight. A little bit of a weirdness to the schedule, but sometimes these things happen, and I guess it is what it is. We're not having any basketball tonight. So sorry about that. We'll get back to it tomorrow. There is golf. It's going on right now over on the Potomac River, I guess, somewhere near it. It's in Potomac, Maryland. We're I mean, how close is that? It's gotta be like close to Alexandria. I think that's probably like the big
Close to
city
me.
it's
Maybe I
nearby.
can go
Like,
down
but
there.
yeah, Alex Xander, that's you. But I had a couple bets already going. I have Corey Connors only a couple shots off the lead here. Denny McCarthy is running away with this, of course, because it's a weird tournament, I guess. But I don't think Denny McCarthy does end up winning this tournament, despite what he's doing. Very annoying. I bet against him in a daily matchup, and there's not that many guys that are like right now. There's only 30 men below par, and only 15 are more than one stroke below par. And I have a guy who is -3 in a daily matchup, Aaron Rye, but he's against Denny McCarthy, who's -5. Very kind of annoying little wrinkle to what's going on there. Corey Connors is one of my outrights. He's 2 under. Hopefully we can get somebody in the mix. But some stuff that does start this afternoon. I do have one full tournament matchup where neither man has started. Fading Killer Keith Mitchell and just kind of a matchup thing here with David Lipsky. I didn't even spell his name right. I'm not 100% sure there's an E in this. If you are trying to find this through Control F, I think skip the E. I
Or
think
just
with
look
my
for Mitchell.
yeah, go look for Mitchell. But at this price, Lipsky matches the kind of the course fit here, and then a couple more for just today. Fading Kevin Streelman, despite some people liking him, I'm against him usually with Alex Smalley. Just a good name. Alex Smalley was another one who kind of fit a lot of the criteria here. Just guys who don't screw up wildly off the tee and end up in the stupid rough. Guys who can find the greens and find their way for a couple putts and just get out here and shoot a 68. So Smalley and Duncan both match that. And Kuchar is my kryptonite. I'm always against him. Sometimes like if he comes out and shoots 600 today, I guess such is life. But I got them both at plus numbers. So Tyler Duncan is the other one's name. Alex Smalley, Tyler Duncan over Streelman and Kuchar, plus 100 and plus 115. I'll have daily stuff up over at BetSperts Golf all week. I'm going to bet all these matchups. It's going to be a good week for that.
I could dig it.
I can dig it. I don't remember where these are, these tennis tournaments, as we were doing a little geography there. San Malo?
It's probably just Saint Malo, or it's somewhere in France. So it might just be Malo because they don't really pronounce any of the consonants. It's not clear to me. But yeah, going down to the lower levels again, the same two tournaments we bet yesterday. Madrid continues on. They're in the semifinals. Again, all those matches are happening right now. So no real prices or anything I can give out to you. Nothing honestly stood out to me anyway. But we'll go back to St. Malo. Yesterday, we had Marina Zanevska -2 games. I believe that worked out quite nicely for us early this morning. Tomorrow, early in the morning, we'll have Anna Blinkova and Bernarda Pera over 21 games. Thought about backing Blinkova here as a dog, but just see more value in the total. There's a good chance this match goes 3 sets, but the best number I saw was only plus 165. If you see a plus 175 on 3 sets, go ahead and bet it. I haven't seen it. I don't think it exists, but maybe it does. If you find it, good for you. But 21 games looks pretty solid here. You'll see 20.5 out. That's fine, but the 21's a little bit cheaper, and I'm happy to sell to the push. And then this is not a bet I talked about yesterday. It might look exactly the same. Miss Talaba Lee was able to take care of CoCo Vandeweghe, who quit on us in the second set. Hopefully, a couple of you guys got that down in a book that grades the win after the first set's complete. If not, worst case, you got to push. We'll take Talaba Lee again today. Like her, she plays this afternoon around 1:30, so about an hour and a half after we finish the show, maybe a little bit later. Is a dog effectively at plus 100 against Whitney Osegué, the young Canadian who I'm just confused by her pricing in the market from time to time. Just nothing in her numbers or performances looks of any quality to me, but she continues to get support in spots. And I would have this price flipped. I'd have Talaba Lee minus 140 and Osegué plus 100. So I'm happy to take Talaba Lee here again, plus 100. She looked great yesterday. I have no reason to expect anything otherwise today. And in general, even if she wasn't in good form, I'd be happy to take this number. So a total, that'll be early tomorrow morning, and Talaba Lee this afternoon, again, about 90 minutes or so after we wrap.
I'm gonna say that looks like the same damn thing. It's not. Alex made that abundantly clear, guys. It's EV Analytics. Look at that. I think that's oh, that's not the right guy. I'm looking at baseball stats right now. Talaba Lee. Where was that
Could be
other tournament?
Talaba, could be Lee. Just look for whoever's playing Osegué. Again, these women, and it's not their problem, but the books
I am
need to
gonna
get
go
it together.
Saul. I am gonna go Saul Malo. I'll say the
Solo.
L, but I will not say the T. Little prize picks today, just because I wanted to bet some baseball that wasn't mine, and it's a guy with a lower ERA, but I'm certainly not convinced he deserves this in Spencer Watkins, not Sammy Watkins. And then I think it's Chris Archer going for the Twins. He was decent last time out, but still not super convinced it's a name. Like it's a name from a few years ago. So this is one of the higher totals on the board. It's minus money to have a run scored in the first inning. So I'm going yes run scored first. Yes run scored first inning in the Twins starting pitchers. It's funny. It's like a little. It's a little bit of a workaround because it's not gambling. It's DFS. So you can't say over one run scored. You have to make it a fantasy thing. So it's the two pitchers. Will either of them combined give up over a half run? So it's basically yes run scored first inning. And then Sergio Garcia, when I ran my Green Finder model for the week, he came up super high, and he wasn't even one of the higher props for greens in regulation on the board. There were some 12 and a halfs in there. He's only at 12. I model him out to hit over 13 today. He starts fairly soon. I want to say Sergio probably gets off the tee pretty quick. So if you want to play that, you'd have to do it a little quicker. But yeah, that was another one where I didn't quite make sense of why he was quite so low. I don't know. It's not the Sergio of old. He's not going to go out there and win a bunch of tournaments like it's 2015 or wherever. I'm trying to think where the peak of his career would be, but he's still very good with this second shot. I think he'll excel here. And yeah, over 12 greens and regulations. This will play. I just put $25 on it because I put baseball in and I'm not very good at that. So 25 gets you 75. 3x your entry on this one. If you want to join in, promo code BBB gets you 100% instant deposit match up to $100.
Ooh, love that.
And we're gonna do triple sponsor day. FanDuel, thank you. PrizePicks, thank you. /sign up. Use promo code BBB, and then Profit Exchange in our show notes. If you haven't yet, launching soon in Jersey. Get on their mailing list to take advantage of their best offers. And Patrick says Spencer Watkins is trash, so I like that. I like to hear that. And the Twins' offense is a very, very good offense. I'm when I kind of lightly modeled how I thought the scoring chances were in the first inning, it was mostly the Twins going to score on Watkins, not so much the Orioles top of lineup against Chris Archer. So hopefully the Twins just put up a 3 spot there, because if you remember a few weeks ago, I bet them to win the division, the title, the pennant, all that. So more Twins wins, the better, in my opinion.
And
Alex,
real quick,
puzzled look on your face.
Patrick seems to think Blancova's plus 182. Where the heck is that? Bet that. Don't even tell me where it is. Bet it real quick and then tell me where it is. Because
I
you
think
deserve
he's
that. It's
I think he's
plus
making
140 everywhere.
I think he's making a joke about early 2000s pop punk bands.
He got me.
That was a bad joke, Alex. Yeah.
I was really excited that there was like a Blankova 182 out there, but damn it.
And no, when you
got me.
say it out loud, Blinkova 182.
You're
But
right.
I mean, as always, shop. If you could find a better price, grab the better price. It's all the small things in betting. We'll catch you guys. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.